They won the Western Division last year, and many people think they will defend that title this year, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Glad to have three members of the Hawks with us, quarterback C.J. Beathard, Josey Jewell, linebacker, and the Thorpe Award winner from last year, back for another season. Good to have Desmond King, senior defensive back, with us as well. Guys, before we get into this year, you sat here last year as a team. You went through a preseason practice, got ready for your season, and there was nobody who thought, very few anyway, who thought that this would be the Western Division champs. As you think back to what's transpired in the last year, why do you think this team went from a group that was viewed as a solid middle-of-the-pack team to one that now we're talking about as a prohibitive favorite?
I believe the team kind of went to another level coming out of the 2014 season into the 2015 season when we, a lot of guys like Jordan Lomax and Drew Watt and more leaders just start involving in the team, and it kind of pressured the underclassmen to come along with them, hop on board, and become leaders as well. And it kind of pushed the team as a one-direction team into a positive road, and it kind of just took off for the season for us.
Was there a moment, Josey, where you realized, man, we're pretty good? We got something special going here.
Yeah, I mean, the time I guess most of us realized that was probably the Wisconsin game. It came down to the last couple seconds there. But the first Big Ten meant a lot to us, and then we played a good team. And that's kind of where we started to realize we had a chance to be a good team, and we held everybody accountable. And there was some good leadership on the team, and we ended up doing all right.
How about for you, CJ?
I would have to agree with that. I think after that Wisconsin win, it was the first Big Ten game of the season. We knew that, going into the offseason, we hadn't beat Wisconsin, at least since I'd been here, and we knew that in order to have a good season, we were going to have to beat Wisconsin. They've been, the leaders of the West in the past few years, and we knew that going into the season. It was our first Big Ten game, and it was a nitty-gritty game. We won 10-6, and the defense played their tails off that game. And I think after that game, we realized, man, we're going to do whatever it takes to win, and we got a good team.
Okay, so now we have exactly the opposite situation, where you go from a team who no one would have talked about as being the Western Division champs and being in the hunt to play in the college football playoff to a team that people say this is the clear-cut favorite. So is overconfidence potentially an issue with this group?
I don't think so. I mean, I think, Coach Ferentz does a good job at talking to us and preaching to us that, we can't listen to the outside noise. We could have listened to it last season when we were 12-0 or 11-0, 10-0, and we went into the season with not as many people believing in us. And as we started winning games and you start hearing more talk about people on the outside saying this or that, and if you listen to that stuff, it'll just mess with you, and no difference goes into this coming up season. There's a lot of positive talk going in about us this coming up season, and you just got to ignore that and focus on us and getting better as a team.
How do you do that, Josey?
Yeah, I agree. Just, staying on the same track as we were last year. Be hard working, hold everybody accountable, and staying focused is probably going to get us where we need to go. And just through the offseason, some guys were showing that, keeping everybody accountable and really, putting your best work out there, going 100% every day.
I mean, Desmond, for you, it's almost twice that, because not only are you talking about being on a team that everyone says is the clear-cut best one in its division, but you were voted literally the best player in the country at your position. So how do you motivate yourself to get better individually and to get this team better?
I would say individually, just watching film, looking at the mistakes, and just critiquing myself on the things that I kind of, went wrong throughout the season. And, it's always room for improvement for everyone. And as a team, I feel like exactly what he was saying, like ignoring the noise, the outside things. People's going to, congratulate you and say that you're going to, uphold the West of the division. We just, going to stay humble and stay hungry and be on the same page as we did last year, and, doing the things that got us to that point as a good team in the West.
What were the ultimate factors that swayed you to make your decision that you were going to come back?
Teammates and teammates, family, and my education. I believe that was the three things that, I kind of built my decision on. And coming back to school, getting my degree is something no one can take from you. And I believe, my thought was, what am I going to do life after football, 10, 20 years later. And, and then I didn't want to leave my bond with my brothers. I would say, my teammates, it's like a strong bond. It's a family atmosphere here at the University of Iowa. That's something it's hard to give up. And it's something that I have to really think about.
What was the reaction to you guys when you heard that news?
I was talking to Des throughout the process. I was back home. We were both back home after the bowl game, and he was calling me. I was talking to him and his mom, and he knew I was going to support him either way. I know he had a great opportunity ahead of him. Had a great season, and a lot of guys would have not have returned for their senior season. I think that shows a lot about the person that Desmond is a selfless guy, and he values his friendships and his teammates, and I think at the same time he realized we have some unfinished business. We were 12-0 regular season, and getting that close to a Big Ten championship, and we want to get back there and change the results there, and I think he realized that, and that was a big coming from him.
Well, one of the big ways you guys can get back there is another outstanding season from you. You were banged up much of last year. It's amazing how well you played given all the physical ailments that you went through. I know you had the sports hernia surgery in the offseason. Give us a sense of where you are physically.
Yeah, I'm pretty much back to 100%. I've been doing all the conditioning, all the running with these guys and competing and doing the drills and all that kind of stuff. And, it's just going to be exciting to, hopefully have an entire season healthy and, hopefully stay uninjured. But, I'm excited for this camp and this season to start up.
Josey, you are the first ever non-senior that Kirk Ferentz has taken to Big Ten Media Days. And as we know, he's been here a long time, going into his 18th year. What does it mean to be the first guy ever to be in that position?
Yeah, it's truly a privilege for me to be here, and I feel honored that all the coaches select me to be here. So it feels awesome to be here with these guys and just be able to represent the University of Iowa.
Now, the rumor circulating is that a big part of his decision was he was looking for the guy who was the best constructor of water slides. And he felt like you really made a strong push for yourself in this offseason. We have the video of it. I have to say, when I stumbled upon this, I was in awe of this water slide. This is on the family farm, right?
Yep, this is.
How long does it take you to put this together?
Yeah, this took, it depended on which year we did it, but this year here, it took us about 3 to 4 hours to put it up, to get it perfect. Then we had a couple adjustments. It took us about a half an hour to get the tarp rolling right and go in the right direction.
That looks like a lot of fun. Was there any fear? This landing area is a little small for my liking, and it's heavily populated.
Yeah.
Any fear of guys colliding with one another?
There were some guys that hate each other, but luckily there was no injuries, and luckily everybody was smart to not go right after each other. Even though we were pretty close coming back to each other.
Right there.
We're not tight like back to back. So luckily we didn't have any injuries, and everybody stayed safe during the whole little event there.
You grew up on a farm in Decorah, Iowa. How did that turn you into the person you are? How did it kind of mold your personality?
Yeah, a lot of the things I learned were on the farm, were through my family. Things like hard work, staying focused and determined, just things that you had to learn growing up on a farm, and that the key values that you really learn growing up on a farm and that you take the rest of your life and that really help you out, even in football. Like hard work, being trustworthy, an honest person.
Guys, a lot of fun visiting with you. It was a lot of fun watching this team last year. Just a fabulous season, one you can be extremely proud of. Ending up in Pasadena for the first time in a generation for the Hawkeyes, and we look forward to watching you in the quest for the repeat this year.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.